I'm going to this time invite Jessica up to the stage for a little bit more. We have a lot going on today, but we want to share with you a couple of things that are happening inside of the Mosaic family. I think I gave you the dirty seat, sorry. Let me clean it up for you.
Thanks.
Jess Jair, if you guys are not familiar with Jessica Jair, is a dear friend of mine personally. We've been through a lot together. Jessica and I worked at our former church together in Germantown. I was on staff as a discipleship pastor at the time. Jess was one of my key volunteers, and the truth is she ran the ministry for me and told me when I was messing up, which happened pretty much every day when we'd meet together. Jess and I did a lot of work in the world of men's ministry, women's ministry, and connect and discipleship, which blossomed into a lot more actually at that church before I had this harebrained idea, hey, I'm thinking of starting a church. Would you like to come? So, and that's what happened. So tell us a little about yourself, your story, a little bit, your family. Give us who is Jess Jair?
All right. I'm obviously Jessica Jair. I am a solo parent of 3 amazing kids. Solo meaning I lost my husband almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And I have 3 amazing kids. I have Ari, who's 16, Eli, who's 14, and Isaac, who is 12. Who I'm sure you guys see running around like crazy every Sunday. We enjoy doing different things together as a family, enjoy hiking and being outdoors as much as possible, travel. I have a crazy enjoyment of endurance type activities, running marathons, climbing crazy mountains, and hiking for 20 hours straight, and just kind of enjoy, I don't know if enjoy is the right word, but I do the endurance events because I like the results I get after. I like the growth that comes into it, mentally, physically, through doing that, and just life lessons of if something's important to you, that you're going to put the time and effort into getting a result.
And so Jess, I've been talking to her for a while, probably about a year or so, about the growth of our church. Our church is moving and shaping. There's new people in. There's all these things happening. And one of the things that I was taught when I started ministry 22 years ago, my lead pastor at that time said, you equip the saints to do the work of ministry. He's like, I'm not paying you, Jason, to do everything. Your job is to find people's gifts, talents, and abilities so they can use their gift, talents, ability inside and outside of the church for living on mission. And so Jess and I have been in that story for a long time, and I approached her about this idea of a ministry coordinator. And a ministry coordinator in a very large term is everything that has to do with ministries. Is there somebody who has their hand on the pulse of everything? Not doing everything, but helping lead leaders. And for those who are here with Nick Jonkowski, when he was here, if you know, our associate pastor who left about a year ago, he and I split that role, but what happened was that I would know stuff and he would know stuff. So it was like a couple that didn't talk all the time. And so like I'd book something and he'd book something. And I said, this needs to be one person who knows what's going on, kind of an extension of myself back into the church family. And that's, I asked Jess, and she's agreed excitedly to take the skills, talents, and abilities to come back in. So she is like my sister from another mister, which would be from Al in the back. Funny thing, we went to church, at the same church when we were kids. I'm a few years older than her.
I'm a few years younger.
I'm
quite a few.
Only like 1 or 2. No, a lot. A few years younger than me, and we have just worked so well together in ministry and really kind of just know what each other are thinking a lot of times. So I'm super excited to be able to expand the ministry. And one of the things that's come up, and I just want to address this to everybody here and joining us online, is that team-based ministry might be new to you. If you come from a smaller church environment, which we're a medium to small-sized church, it's Sunday in the summer, so today we're a small church, but we're a medium to small-sized church. Usually the lead pastor does everything. Like that guy is at everything. He goes to every recital, he just does everything. And team-based church could be a little bit different. Let me explain it to you. Team-based is that we have leaders who are on quote-unquote staff, we'll say, leadership that I'm pouring into as leaders, and the leaders then are leading leaders. And so what it does is it expands the ministry into a larger piece. And there's a rumor going around, gossip if you will, and you know how good gossip is that I'm setting this up to leave the church. I am not. I'm not leaving. I'm just doing what I was told, how I was taught to do ministry, which was team-based. So Jess and I did team-based at Crossway but just in discipleship. Now, team-based had expanded to our church. We have discipleship teams. We have a team for care ministry. We have a team for now the ministry coordination. Today we have a meeting about worship team ministry. It is a way of helping us to carry the load and the joy of leadership together. So that's a little bit, if you guys didn't know exactly what's going on with that. Here's a little bit, I think this is a good one. We have some feedback from you that communication is not always the best at Mosaic Church. Nobody say amen, we know this. It's a growth area is what we like to say. Growth area, communication is not our best suit. And Jess, that's part of what you're gonna do with this, because I agree. Share a little bit how you see your role helping communicate what's happening in leadership to people who are here and getting people connected.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if any of you can relate in your regular day-to-day lives. If you get a text message from someone and for whatever reason you're driving or you're in a conversation, you can't answer it right away, and you're going like, oh, I'll just answer them later. And then you never answer them later. And then they'll come up to you or you apologize. You see them and you're like, oh, shoot, they sent me a text and I never responded. Or somebody tells you, like reminds you, like, hey, you need to talk to so-and-so about this. And or worse, when you actually type out the whole reply and then get distracted and never actually send the reply to the text.
I never do that.
Never.
I mean, today yet, because I just woke up a lot of that. Oh, hey.
Oh, good. Now I can see everybody else.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. But that's kind of how I see a lot of the communication at Mosaic. People have the best intentions. They mean to get information out. They mean to get information from one ministry to another so we can communicate. And for no reason, it just falls through the cracks. Life happens. We get busy. We're not sure who to ask, who to talk to, and everything like that. So my role then with being a ministry coordinator is kind of being that person helping keep all the ministries accountable, like just checking in with them, sitting down with each ministry. Okay, what are the needs? What needs to be done? Who needs to be communicated with? Who's going to do it? And kind of just like the actual follow through of it and the accountability of following through. And then going forward with that, then getting that communication out to the rest of you. So because oftentimes we'll hear there'll be an event and the next week somebody will be like, oh, I had no idea that was even going on. So just trying to getting better at communicating to you. So I'll be talking with each of the ministry teams and then keeping them accountable for information and then also getting the information out to everybody else.
And that's part of growing pains. When I went to seminary, they taught us none of this. I learned how to preach the book of Hebrews. So be patient with us as we grow, and there's some growing pains that have happened and are happening. It takes many people to make this happen. And this is what you see. What you don't see is Monday through Saturday. And I understand, like for you, like this is, if you're attending, this is your church engagement. But literally, we'll be on the phone after church immediately, and then Monday morning at 7, 8 o'clock, I'm like, hey, do you have a few minutes, Jess? And turns into 4 hours.
Yeah, a few minutes is never a few minutes.
It turns into a few hours of what we have to get done. One of her roles is leadership and volunteer coordination. You have a room of potential volunteers. What do you see kind of the future of volunteerism here at Mosaic? And yeah, you can recruit all you want. What do you see?
All right. We need help everywhere. Specifically, I know we need help with kids ministry. I think as a lot of parents of the young kids here, it would be amazing to be able to have the kids go somewhere in the summer and not just during the school year. Currently, we just don't have the volunteers to be able to run that effectively. So that would be, another huge area would be worship arts. So anything up here on stage, anything in back with the tech team, singing, playing musical instruments. I know everybody on the worship team, including myself, enjoys having more than one Sunday not playing in a row, and it's nice to have a break and be able to just worship as well. And it kind of just really goes back to, we really believe with Mosaic that God has created everybody to be a disciple in your own specific needs or specific ways. And everybody has their own talents and abilities and things they're interested in. And I think you can take that and apply that to volunteering at church. It can be full jump in and let's volunteer and do something every week. It could be I can get my toes wet and do once a month. Anything would be awesome. And it's not just for helping the church and letting it run, it's really like the perfect way to get involved and start to really build relationships with other people. It kind of becomes like your go-to people, like who you build relationship with, and then, hey, let's go get coffee, let's go out to dinner, let's go to the park, and just kind of building that team base and the community that comes with volunteering just really makes the church start feeling like home and not a place you come to on Sunday and then leave and go on with the rest of your week.
Right, so our vision is multiplication. Multiply is one of our 5 core values. We're disciples that make disciples, and we're leaders that make leaders. That's part of our vision. It's part of who we are. And so I'll be around afterwards. Jess will be, if you have any questions about some of that. August 25th, our family meeting, we're explaining a lot of our new structure coming with our elder board, executive team. We're going to talk about membership. I've been writing bylaws for a year. It's super fun, said no one. Why don't you join then? Why don't you write the bylaws for me? But seriously, this is a great opportunity as a church family as we're taking this next step of really expanding what we're doing to bless both our community and the world. So let's all give Jess a round of applause. Welcome to the team, Jess. Let's all stand and join.